Hey, hello, howdy, candy by the President of the United States of America here on KRFF 95.9, Radio Free Fargo.org. If you want to listen, you can. What in the World with Wilson is happening right now, 4 o'clock until 5. After me, Stinky Arts Music Mart. Stick around for that. I curate this week and What in the World, question mark, exclamation point. And people being people, bruh. And so as long as people being crazy, I got stuff to talk about. And we certainly do today. We got people stealing shopping carts. We got people flinging pads at people. We got a show. So thank you for joining me. Again, it is What in the World with Wilson, KRFF 95.9. We got snow on the ground. I hope you like snow. I, tomorrow, leave for the Amazon jungle. So you guys can have next week. Next week, it's looking no bueno from where I'm standing. But it looks like I'm going to escape it. I feel bad for you guys. But hey, just keep your chin up, playa. Keep your chin up. Anyway, this show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy. Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook. 1,200 MIGs of locally grown hemp whipped up into a fun tub for your outer body. Outer body butter. That's what that is. Black Cottage Alchemy. Thank you for sponsoring this show. Now, I used to do all the drugs. Count them. But I don't anymore. And I credit the man upstairs for coming down here, getting inside me, and helping me fly right. And I show him props every Sunday, 417 Main Avenue, Antioch Church, 10 a.m. recovery, 11 a.m. worship. What in the World with Wilson? We're about to get into crazy stories. You just hang tight. Nonprofit Radio Free Fargo 95.9 is listener supported. Radio Free Fargo receives no government money nor grant monies presently. And traditional advertising is a no option for nonprofits. We do have underwriting. That's different. Radio Free Fargo believes in trying to present the widest spectrum of music. If you believe in community radio and would like to help, visit our website, www.radiofreefargo.org. Click on the donate button. As always, gracias for your support. Please tell others about Radio Free Fargo. I'm working on my Spanish, people. I'm going to need it. Un agua, por favor. Learn about underwriting opportunities with nonprofit Radio Free Fargo, 95.9 FM KRFF. Increase public visibility and create a positive image, which you need. Underwriting may increase website traffic and possibly offer tax deductions. To learn more, please message us at our website, www.radiofreefargo.org. Shout out to our community partners at Fix It Forward Auto Care. With 4 Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo locations, they handle anything from routine maintenance to complex vehicle repairs. Fix It Forward focuses on quality, integrity, and giving back to the community. For more information, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, or at their website at fixitforwardautocare.com. Hey, how you guys doing? You miss me? Just kidding. It's only been a week. However, I won't be in next Thursday. I'll be coming back from the jungle to get my brand new silver-plated partial for my lower mouth. $250 is what it'll set you back in the fair country of Ecuador. Here, probably $5,000. I don't even know. But it's certainly more than that, and it's certainly never in 500-year-old, buildings, created by the Aztecs. So, there's that. But again, let's see what we can get for you guys here right now. Let's do it. Okay. This is from Corrections One. It's my new favorite website. It's basically for correction officers who want to vent, and it's right up my alley. Okay, so let's see here, my people. North Carolina deputies arrest a 100-year-old woman to check item off bucket list. And it's kind of ironic that this person has also got my sister's first name. The Pearson County Sheriff's Office, which I hope she actually does when she gets this old, help fulfill Ruth Bryant's unusual wish. She wants to celebrate her birthday in jail. Now, I will say, what in the world, right? Okay. But for her 100th birthday, Ruthie crossed a significant item off her bucket list. She went to jail. Oh, good. I'm glad. The sheriff's office helped fulfill Bryant's unusual wish when 2 deputies showed up at her assisted living facility to serve her a warrant charging her with indecent exposure. Now, I wish they would have expounded on that a little bit. I mean, what are we doing? We mammary flashing at lunchtime? What's going on? Right? Where we do that at? You know, she's showering out in the yard again with a garden hose? Stinking lady. Stinking Ruth. The two deputies handcuffed Bryant to her walker, placed her in a patrol car, giving her the full experience. Lights, sirens, blaring. Before she got in, the deputies warned her not to put up a fight, and she kicked at them. Don't kick me. I've got a bad knee, said one deputy. I've got 2 bad knees, said Ruth. The Courier Times of Roxborough reported that as Bryant tried to get out of the patrol car, she told the deputies they should go after another criminal. The people who make these low stinking seats in all these cars, you ought to arrest every one of them. Boy, she witty, isn't she? Once in the jail, Bryant was treated like, well, a criminal. She had a mug shot, spent a few minutes in a jail cell, left with an orange shirt with the words Person County Jail on it. I'm in the jailhouse now, she says. I finally got here. I mean, and the quote is, she exclaimed, right? With joy. I'm in the jailhouse now. Yay, I finally got here. Says nobody. Not one person. Not one person. However, I did have to spend 5 days in jail one time, and I knew it was coming. I knew that I was going to go in, they were going to book me in, and whatever. So, in true fashion, I made sure to stay up about 4 or 5 days. Made sure to do the last bit of my meth. Went in, hit the court, and I was tired. They sentenced me to the 5 days I knew was coming. And I asked admissions lady, they're fingerprinting me or whatever. And I go, yo, what's up for lunch? Because I hadn't eaten for days and days. I was stinking starving. And they say, grilled cheese and chili. And I'm like, sick. Sweet. And I tried to high-five the guard, but he wouldn't touch me. But that's the only time I felt a little excited about something that most people would be like, well, you're in jail. You're pumped about lunch? But this lady, before long, she was released. She returned to her assisted living center to a party, complete with a birthday cake. No word on whether the cake had a file in it. Well, bless her heart. I hope I get to, I don't know, do that. Here we go. Another one from Corrections 1. Police, drug-filled tennis balls were on their way to South Carolina prison. A group who had a launching device had planned to hurl the balls toward the prison. Now, if you have a launching device, you can't call it hurling, can you? I think that's reserved for your hand. You can't take a gun and hurl bullets. You hurling bullets, bruh? No. Tennis balls were stuffed with drogas. Man, I'm almost full-fledged Spanish already. See? Okay. And heading to a prison's ground. A group who had a launching device had planned to hurl the balls toward a prison. But that scheme was derailed when officers stopped a car that was bound for the detention center. They look at it. They find this launcher with canisters, tennis balls that were cut to contain tobacco and a green leafy substance, and a Fruity Pebbles covered ball of THC. Whoa. The substance that contributes to mental effects of cannabis, in case nobody knew. A photo the Pageland Police posted to Facebook shows the substance formed into rough balls and wrapped in plastic. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, once you, quote-unquote, hurl with this air gun, where are we shooting for? Like, we got people in the yard with gloves? Like, we catching these with mitts? Like, what are we doing? Only one guy gets them? Is it a free-for-all? I don't know. In all, police said they found about a cooper of cannabis, more than 1 pound of tobacco, and open alcohol containers, which, again, that don't make any sense. 3 people were arrested. Officers didn't say which prison the group is accused of trying to reach. All right, well, there you have it, and that is interesting to me. All right, what else we got for you fine people? Again, you're listening to What in the World with Wilson, ? I grab crazy, unusual news stories. I mean, if animals are getting arrested, if, like I said, if you're squeezing urine into your eyeball, that's an article that'll show up here. If you're a wanted fugitive who gets caught after applying for a job at the sheriff's office, you'll probably show up on What in the World with Wilson. LEOs in New Jersey didn't have to look far to find a wanted fugitive because she came looking for a job. And I don't get it. Ziama Johnson was wanted in Pennsylvania on fraud charges. There was also a warrant for traffic charges. Tracking her down was as easy as posting a job opening. With the warrant still out for her, Johnson applied for a job as the guard at the sheriff's office, same county where she faced The warrants. Officers called her in for what she thought was an interview. I mean, I don't know. Stupid. That's when they said they took her into custody. Found her in possession of 2 stolen credit cards. Okay. Sounds good. And moving on. What else we got here? Oh, we got this one. Okay, well, here we go. Ohio man goes to prison after dialing a wrong number for a hitman twice. Now, again, Desmond Ramsey thought he was leaving a voicemail with a hitman. Now, I think, and there might be a handbook, and maybe it's just because I'm a felon, but leaving voicemails doesn't seem to make sense. The hitman ain't going to want you doing that, leaving evidence, and you shouldn't be doing it, leaving evidence. Like, you've reached the guy that'll whack your neighbor. Please leave a detailed message after the beep. Beep. Yo, bro, I need you to whack my neighbor, man. Can you hook a brother up? Get back to me when you get back in the house. What? Okay. A 58-year-old man who mistakenly left a voicemail seeking a hitman to kill his adult son with a suburban dumpster rental company was sentenced Tuesday to 18 months in prison, which... Okay. So, Desmond Ramsey, he uses a cane. He struggled to walk into Cuyahoga County, broke down in sobs, and they let him away. They imposed the maximum. Ramsey said he had been drinking heavily. Oh, well, that's no surprise, right? Got into a dispute with his son the night he made the phone calls. But he made the phone calls to who, right? What did you Google hitmen's numbers? Like, what, you just had him, like, what? He was your bro? How do you just leaving messages for hitmen? I mean, they're not the yellow pages, man. It's kind of illegal to hire a murder guy, right? You're just leaving voicemails? Like what? You just text them? This guy ain't ever heard of the dark web. But anyway, Ramsey said he'd been drinking heavily, got into a dispute. He said he did not believe the plan would be carried out. He goes, that's my baby boy. I would die before I let anything happen to my children. Ramsey believed he was calling a friend who was a member of a motorcycle club. Well, there we go. Instead, he dialed the number of the Budget Dumpster Company in Westlake. Left 3 voicemails. Oh, good. Oh, good. They've read a transcript of the messages aloud in court. In the first message, Ramsey called his friend Jesse and referred to himself as Tommy, then named his set. He said, it's a $5,000 hit on him. Ramsey said in the message, I don't give a beep where he's at or what he's doing or who he be with. Kill that beep. After leaving a second voicemail that was blank, he left a third one that asked his friend to call him back ASAP. It's business. The company's employee discovered the voicemails when they showed up to work the next morning. Man, that'd make my day. I mean, it kind of makes me want to set my voicemail back up just in case, I don't know, somebody accidentally calls me and leaves something. Westlake detectives used cell phone tower data to track Ramsey's phone and arrested him that day. Now, I think what we can take from that is if you've got a phone, they can find you, bruh. You know, I mean, you're making weird calls. You ain't invisible, dude. After the detectives left the room, he said to himself that he was headed to jail for a drunk mistake. Anderson said investigators spoke to the man Ramsey meant to call, and he denied ever knowing of a plot. The man said he would never commit murder for hire. Well, why would he tell the cops he would? But again, here's what I think. I think that guy definitely does, and that's just me. But you don't tell the cops you do, and I just don't understand this voicemail business. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. I think we should play a little songy song. Here's the Beasties, Shake Your Rump, 95.9. And yes, indeed, that's Shake Your Rumpa. Beasties, 95.9, radiofreefargo.org. We're streaming everywhere. If you're anywhere in everywhere, you can hear me. What in the World with Wilson? We talking about crazy stories spawned from crazy humans. And boy, oh boy, do we have crazy humans. So, it is what it is, my people. Let's see what else we got for you. What else we got for you? Let's see. All right. Shopper baffled after AliExpress sends him photo of a drill instead of the drill. Taking advantage of me, this guy feels. A man was shocked. Now, and I don't know about AliExpress. Okay, I'll just say that right now. Was it like was it like a redneck Shein? I don't know. What is it, like Temu for losers? All right, so he ordered a drill from AliExpress and received a photograph instead. In November 2024, Sylvester Franklin ordered a DIY appliance and pressure washer for 40 bizzles from the Budget Online store. Ooh, Budget Online might be an indication. On December 9, a package arrived. Instead of a new drill, he received a picture of the drill and a screw. He said he's complained, but has not received a refund. And again, you can Google this. It's hilarious. Sylvester, former mechanic from Savannah, said, I paid around $40. All he got given was a picture. I was very upset. I contacted them for a refund. They have not got back to me. I'm retired. They took advantage. They need to pay for what I've done. You didn't do anything. I was very upset when I opened the box. Well, he did get a screw alongside the picture. I'm a mechanic and a repairman. I use tools like that all the time to work on my car. This is bad. They have taken advantage of me. Don't scam nobody. When I pay for something, I expect to get what I paid for. Oh, what a crazy story. All right. So let's see what we got here. What do we have? Oh, here we go, people. Here we go. Let me read this headline, though. Plane passenger descends into rage, hurls used sanitary pads at check-in staff after being denied boarding. A furious passenger hurled her stinky, bloody sand pads at airport check-in staff. Gloria Osmasor flew from her hometown of Lagos, Nigeria, to the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi for her long-haul trip to Manchester. However, while checking in, she was told by airline staff that she didn't have the required visa, as she had booked a stop in Paris before the onward flight to Britain. She was offered an alternative route, landing in London, but she no like it. And she starts shouting, who tried to stay calm during the tirade. The angry passenger eventually ended up being refused boarding and deported back to Kenya. Cost of her tickets and whatever. Footage shows the check-in staff confronts the attendant. After a heated argument, the passenger was on her period, allegedly threw a bloodied menstrual pad, which landed on the counter, then fell to the floor. It's seen lying on the ground at the end of the clip. She yells in the video, "You will provide me a sanitary towel. You cannot take my phone. You cannot take my phone. I will speak with the Minister of Finance in Nigeria. You will see." However, the infuriated agent shouted back at her, "Call the president. Call the president. You will not fly on the Kenya Airways. You will never enter our airline again. Call your president. Call the Nigerian president. We aren't giving you anything. You are not going to fly on our airways again." Osmore stood her ground and again demanded a sanitary towel, fuming at the 17 hours added to the journey if she took up the airline's offer to fly her to London instead, which in hindsight is probably what she should have did. Kenya Airways defended the procedure and said in a statement that they offered a generous alternative because she did not have a visa. The flag carrier said unhappy with his option, the guest demanded accommodation. And Kenya Airways don't provide in cases where boarding is denied. In a distressing turn of events, she resorted to inappropriate behavior by removing, and see, now that's what gets me. You removed it. Okay, so now we got to watch you, dig down in there? What are you, taking your pants down? What are you doing? And she threw 3 used sanitary pads at our employees. So again, 3 of them. Got a lot going on down there. We strongly condemn such conduct. Well, what do you, would you weakly condemn it? Would you minimize the condemnation? No. While we remain committed to delivering exceptional service, we expect all interactions to be based on mutual respect. And I agree. I agree. So, what do we got? Oh, this one is a crazy story, y'all. Okay, you guys ready to do this? This is from OddityCentral.com. And again, you're listening to What in the World with Wilson. Drop you some crazy head-scratching stories that are being committed by our fellow man or animal. But I don't think I got any animals in the stories this week. But here's this. Man arrested for testing friends. Okay, I got to take a minute. Whew. I don't think you guys are ready for this. Man arrested for testing friends' bullet dodging abilities with fatal consequences. So let me guess. He wasn't faster than a bullet? I mean, what are we doing? Okay, a Utah man was arrested and accused of manslaughter after allegedly shooting his bro in the chest because the latter claimed he could dodge bullets. All right, 23-year-old Ashton was arrested on one count of second-degree felony manslaughter and one third-degree felony charge. I know it's felony, Jada. All right, related to firearms for a bizarre incident involving guns and cannabis use. In the early hours, February 2nd, let me back up. It involves guns and cannabis. I don't know. I'd like to say I never made any weird mistakes on cannabis, but I certainly know I can't dodge a bullet. And so, in the early hours of Sunday, February 2nd, that's 2 days ago, first responders were called to a home in Kearns where they found an unresponsive young man with a gunshot wound to the chest lying on the floor. The victim was quickly taken to a hospital. They couldn't save his life. Man later told police that he shot his bro after he bragged that he could dodge. Boy. All right, so they're hanging out in their kitchen. They're smoking a little grass. You know, they're mostly talking about guns, and at one point they moved into a garage to continue the conversation. They were handling a couple firearms, and Ashton's friend started talking about he could dodge a bullet. Yeah, man, I can dodge a bullet, bruh. Yeah, I mean, I'm so fast. Watch me, man. I'm fast. Woo, woo, woo. How fast? You didn't even see me move, man. You see me move? Watch how fast I am. Shoot at me, bruh. You ain't gonna get me. I'm that fast. All right, pow, pow. Oops. You're an idiot. That's what you are. You're not fast. You're stupid. After seemingly unloading both guns, the two friends decided to test the victim's bullet dodging abilities. Ashton would fire the empty gun at his friend, and he would try to jump out of the way as quickly as possible. They reportedly played this game about 6 times. Only the 6th time, man fired a bullet at his friend in the chest. Man said the final time the gun fired, striking the victim in the chest. Now, the 23-year-old told police that he had tried giving his friend first aid. He remained unresponsive. Upon searching the home, investigators found 2 handguns, ammunition, and magazines, as well as paraphernalia consistent with cannabis use. Now that is a what in the world with Wilson right there, my people. That is insane. Now we're coming up on these shopping cart thieves. And again, I learned stuff too doing this show. 2 men allegedly stole 140 shopping carts from a New Jersey store, leading to a shortage. Well, how many stinking shopping carts can a New Jersey store have before there's a shortage? I mean, I've been to a grocery store downtown here, and they ain't got 140 shopping carts, man. How big a store is it? Why go through all the work to take something like a shopping cart, they ask. Maybe because they sell for about $200 a piece wholesale. Well, I mean, now I'm thinking about it. Okay. Well, 140 carts worth nearly $30,000 potentially. 2 men arrested in Newark being called career criminals. But police say they aren't stealing things like cars or jewelry. They're taking shopping carts. On any given day, there typically used to be about 400 to 500 shopping carts at ShopRite Supermarket in Rochelle Park, which that is a lot of carts. But starting in March and continuing in April, the number of carts was noticeably smaller. I think the store manager was first to notice we're kind of running low on carts here, he said. We have a good security team and started looking at the video and noticed a red van coming and going and going and coming, you know. They were even dressed like cart guys with the lime yellow shirts and everything. But they were not cart guys. Police arrested 77-year-old Alfredo. Well, I feel like I wish my name was Alfredo. And 54-year-old Hector, calling them the shopping cart bandits, SCB for short. The pair was busted in the parking lot after the security started their own investigation and handed cops security video on April 8th. We're pulling out the paperwork the next day. On a Tuesday, we get a phone call around noon, and they were like, they're here, get out here. My partner and I ran out there. We blocked the guys in. They were in the corner of a parking lot, and lo and behold, they gave us consent to search the vehicle, and there were 5 shopping carts in there. They had been at it for 2 weeks, taking at least 140 carts, so why go through all the work? 200 apiece. 140 carts, about 28,000 G's. We believe they're selling them to smaller bodegas or scrapping them, but they had proceeds on them. They're making cash. Who knew? Not me, but I do now. And so lock up your shopping carts, Fargo. Wilson's here, Just kidding. But it is apparently, it's more common than most would believe. The Food Marketing Institute estimates 2 million shopping carts are stolen each year. Whew. Sometimes it's done as a matter of convenience, like you're just heading home with them. We typically see people that'll take a shopping cart home if they live nearby. That's understandable. But to see them unloading them and put them in their cars is pretty bizarre. One of the suspects already had a warrant out for, again, stealing those shopping carts. The crazy thing about it was, 77-year-old was the one lugging them into the van. I was surprised to see a guy 77 years old who could hardly walk take a shopping cart and lift it up into the back of the van. Both suspects are looking at a different kind of metal these days. They are behind the bars. Bergen County, Jersey. You crazy people. All right, we got another song for y'all. This is a classic. I heard this here on this very radio station many years ago, and I've never really kind of lost it. Here's When the Water Gets Cold and Freezes on the Lake. Herman Dune, 95.9. Man, what a song. When the water gets cold and freezes on the lake, Herman Dune. And you don't really even see what's coming till the end. You're like, what, he's got this girl hostage at his cabin? Weird song. But it is kind of neat, too. Again, Herman Dune on 95.9. What in the World with Wilson? RadioFreeFargo.org. Up next, it's El Stinky. El Stinky in the house right after me. So stick around for that. We're talking about crazy news stories. And, man, we got them. We got them for days. We got them for days. So... CT school bus aide bit 9-year-old, licked his face, and wiped mucus on him during rides, says the police. What? School bus aide in Connecticut was arrested after he bit a 9-year-old boy during a ride, according to police, part of a strange pattern of abuse that went on for weeks. What? Juan Carlos was allegedly caught on camera aboard the bus biting the child who has autism. Oh, great. Yeah, make it add to the story. Biting and licking an autistic kid. Darien police were alerted about the incident that occurred as the bus was transporting kids from a private special ed school in Stanford to Trumbull. On April 1, April Fool's Day, the boy's mother reported the incident after noticing a bite mark on the child's back. Video footage from inside the bus. And that's the thing, man. You're being videoed, dude. You're sitting there biting and licking kids, man. You're on video. Whatever. From inside the bus confirmed the boy's story, as a 27-year-old Rodriguez of Bridgeport was seen making contact with the child, who immediately cried out in pain. In addition to that incident, there were other allegations against Rodriguez involving the same boy. He hit the child with his phone, wiping a snot on him, licked his face, which I don't get that, in a separate incident over a 3-week span from May and June. Rodriguez turned himself into law enforcement. He has since been fired from his job as a school bus aide. It still seems criminal, but I don't know. Okay, here we go. Now, anybody else feeling the pinch of eggs at the store? And it's funny because I used to eat eggs every morning, at least 4 of them with some sardines. Don't judge me. You eat your Frosted Flakes and leave me alone. However, now I do something different, and because I just got kind of sick of eggs and I was just eating so many of them. And I kind of jumped off the egg train about the right time because eggs are stupid high now. The heist of 100,000 eggs from the back of a trailer has become a whodunit that police have yet to crack. Now, come on. A whodunit that police have yet to crack, and we're talking about eggs? Whoever wrote this article, I love you, man. 4 days after the theft that law enforcement say could be tied to the sky-high cost of eggs. I mean, could you imagine now what this guy's like black market eggs selling out his trunk? With a fentanyl in a dozen? Give me 2 dozen of jumbo eggs and some fentanyl, please. Yeah, coming right up. Hey, you gonna always have eggs? I don't know, you know. I've got 600, I got 60,000 left. So far, no leads have come in. It's still on the loose. We're relying on leads from people from the community. Like they're gonna say anything. I mean, now who gonna tell, you know? Like you're getting cheap eggs, bruh? I mean, what are you gonna do? Turn the egg hood? Right. Robbing the egg hood. Oh, robbing eggs in the hood. We're relying on leads from people. We're hoping that somebody knows something and they'll call us. Nah, them eggs are gone, bro. I mean, and that's another thing. Crack, crack, There goes the evidence. Crack, crack, whip, whip, fry, fry. There goes the evidence. I mean, how long is it going to take a neighborhood to get rid of 100,000 eggs? And anyway, once you're in their fridge, you got them in a carton. How are you supposed to know? Police are also following up with any possible witnesses and looking into surveillance that could help them identify the egg-stealing perpetrator as they race to solve the mystery. Well, I mean, they've been doing it for 4 days now. Not just sure they're racing that fast. I mean, unless they consider 6 months to not be racing. In my career, I've never heard of 100,000 eggs being stolen. This is definitely unique, said Fraser, who has 12 years on the job. Bird flu's forcing farmers to slaughter millions of chicks, pushing egg prices to more than double their cost. And they are definitely crazy. The 100,000 eggs were snatched from the back of Pete and Jerry's organic distribution trailer on Saturday, about 8:40 in Antrim Township. That's a what in the world with Wilson for you folks. 100,000 eggs were snatched. They're trying to find out who took them. Again, they're organic, so they're really good. I mean, I don't condone it because it's theft, but I understand. Who did that? Chris Rock? All right, let's see. What else do we got here? This is a crazy story. A hiker's little burn from camping skillet leads to double amputation. Max Armstrong, more like Max legs gone. Okay, horrible joke. Okay, he was camping with friends. He sustained a small burn on his thumb. He was removing a skillet from the fire. His ankle began to swell 2 days later, and it started a life-threatening sepsis infection that would lead to his legs being amputated. With the help of prosthetics, he hopes to be hiking mountains again. Maybe not cooking, though, Max. Feel me? He paid no attention to little burning. Who would? You know, he says he gets lots of cuts and scrapes and little burns and all kinds of things, you know, during that trip. Okay, he was just transferring the skillet. It was a little burn. He didn't think nothing of it. 2 days later, his ankle started to swell. He just thought he was getting out of the camper wrong. He thought he twisted it. At the same time, the burn wasn't healing. So, I mean, he'd been putting triple anti-B on there, keeping it bandaged. Then he started talking crazy in his sleep, and his toenails turned purple. So I don't think anything ever gets better, right? I knew I had to go to the emergency room. On the way to the hospital, Armstrong checked his symptoms online. He realized he could have sepsis, a life-threatening condition where the body responds improperly to an infection. So they believe strep A bacteria had gotten into the burn before he could clean and bandage it, which you would think a burn would have purified it from the burn, you know? But once he got to the emergency room, his eyes started rolling back in his head. And by the end of the night, he was in a coma for 6 days. And he progressed to toxic shock, and the body really quickly started to eat away itself. Oof. Doctors told him to be prepared for the possibility that he wasn't going to make it. When he woke up from his coma, December 13th, he said, "My feet were black and felt like they were being crushed." And they would bring it up in passing casually about whacking his feet off, or his legs. And still, I knew it was a thing, and at first I was like, no, there's no way they're taking my feet. But when he tried to walk, it was so painful. And so they removed him. Would still be able to amputate below the knee, which makes prosthetics easier to use. Man. Well, that's crazy. It sure is. All right, what else we got for you good people? Oh, yeah, we got a good one for you here, folks. Oh, yeah, we got a good one here for you. Man who only ate cheese, beef, and sticks of butter for 8 months suffers shocking side effect. Okay, a Florida man in his mid-40s on a meat, fat, and dairy-heavy diet arrived at a Tampa hospital with ooze emanating from yellowish nodes on the palm of his hands, elbows, and the soles of his feet. The man told doctors that he had adopted a carnivore diet 8 months ago, explaining that his daily intake was made up of entire sticks of butter, 9 pounds of cheese, and hamburger patties. Well, I mean, I'm on an animal-based diet. I do fruits and honey for carbs, but 9 pounds of cheese, bruh? I mean, get your life together. The carnivore diet, which involves blah, 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 such as eggs, devotees claim that the pure protein, no vegetable lifestyle has helped them shed weight. I like it. The patient, though, he took it to extremes, and he had insisted his overall health had improved. Since going full fatty and all animal, the man claimed he lost weight, saw marked improvements in his energy levels and cognitive functioning. But his skin was another story. The painless but decidedly ooze had been affecting him for nearly a month. Doctors discovered that the butter man's discovered that the Butterman's total cholesterol level exceeded 1,000 milligrams to blah, blah, blah. For comparison, a healthy cholesterol level is under 200. Having high cholesterol is strongly associated with heart disease. Before he adopted his extreme carnivore meal plan, his cholesterol was not that. So he diagnosed a man with xanthelasma, a condition that causes high cholesterol levels or other fats in the blood. That is crazy. All right, I got a good one for you. Florida man in Dalmatian onesie outruns troopers, tasers, and canines. Florida man in a Dalmatian onesie escaped Florida highway troopers in Pasco County with one hand cuffed after a traffic stop before they caught up with him the following day. Florida Highway Patrol said they attempted to pull over a reckless driver, later identified as Dylan Keith, just after midnight, January 27. The vehicle took off at a high rate of speed, stopping once to drop off a passenger. Well, that's nice. Hey, dude, I got to get out of here. All right, cool, man. Jump now. Go. All right, I'm out of here. What? Oh, nice onesie, too, bruh. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care. What? The vehicle eventually crashed into a tree, bailing from the car before troopers tased him, per the criminal probable cause affidavit. Troopers say that Devereaux began fighting and attempting to flee. He got away with one hand cuffed and sprinted towards his residence. The trooper observed him run into the forest, waited for backup, which is a dog. The dog led law enforcement to the home where they met his girlfriend. She told him she didn't want anyone in the home, including her boyfriend, because there are drugs in the home and she doesn't want to go to jail. What? Wait a minute. What? An arrest warrant was filed and police returned to the home the next morning, detaining Devereaux, booking him, blah, 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 resisting with violence and possession of meth, among other charges. Now that makes sense. I used to do a bit of meth in my day, and I would have wore a Dalmatian onesie. I might have had one. Doesn't matter. Again, you're listening to What in the World with Wilson. I'm your boy Wilson. Up next is Stinky Arts Music Mart. I'm about out of this thing. I won't be back next Thursday because I'll be in Ecuador. Viva Las Ecuador. Okay, so I hope you guys can bear without me for 1 week. But I will be back when I get back. That's like the 18th or 19th or something. All right, so you'll have to just listen to Fred, spelled with a P, until I get back. Woman tricks husband into selling his kidney, steals money, and elopes with lover. Well, that sounds like a Jerry Springer title, doesn't it? An Indian woman stands accused of tricking her husband into selling his kidney on the black market to fund their daughter's education, only to then steal the money and run away with her lover. A woman from West Bengal allegedly spent months trying to convince her husband to sell one of his kidneys in order to fund their daughter's higher education. And he was reluctant at first because he's like, I like my, I dig my kidneys. My kidneys have been straight up for me, I'd like to keep my kidneys, bruh. But my kid needs to learn. She's kind of stupid. All right. So he's looking for a buyer on the black market. Selling human organs has been illegal in India for over 3 decades. But he found one about 3 months ago. He entrusted the money for his kidney to his wife. She stole it and left. The heartbroken man learned that the real reason his wife had been pressuring him had nothing to do with the well-being of their child. She'd met a man, and she wanted to move in, but she decided to squeeze every penny out of her husband, which I think's probably happened before. Do what you want. I'll be signing a divorce letter. Okay. All right. Well, again, let me read this. Programming on KRFF FM. Radio Free Fargo, 95.9 FM has been underwritten by Flatland Guitar and Luthery. Flatland Guitar is your full-service guitar shop and your exclusive dealer for Yamaha, Taylor, and Paul Reed Smith guitars and other brands. They sell guitars on consignment, they take trade-ins, and have a full-service on-site repair center. Check out Flatland Guitar and Luthery on Facebook, or come by and visit them in person at their location at 1450 25th Street South in Fargo. Well, I'm about wrapping this up. Let's see if there's anything. No, there ain't much. I about covered it. People. Again, I hope you were entertained. Some of that stuff was wild. That whole butter-eating freak, that's kind of wild, isn't it? Anyway, this show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy. Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook. 1,200 megs of locally grown hemp whipped up into a fun tub for your outer body. It's outer body butter, bruh. Thank you, Black Cottage Alchemy, for sponsoring this show. Now, all the drugs used to go up my nose, in my mouth, down my face. And thanks to the man upstairs, I don't do that anymore. I show him props every Sunday, 417 Main Avenue, 10 a.m. worship, 10 a.m. recovery, 11 a.m. worship. Up next is Stinky Arts Music Mart. So yeah. You guys have been great. I've been Wilson. I got to head into the jungle. My flight leaves tomorrow morning. I'm going to jump out of here now. You guys be good to yourselves. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Remember to breathe. Sturgill Simpson. Peace.